Hi everybody, we have Colleen here with us, and she's gonna introduce herself and tell us where she lives, and tell us how she was introduced to the world of congenital diaphragmatic hernia. So Colleen?
Hi, everybody. My name is Colleen Martin. My cherub is 4.5 now. She's our firstborn. So we were very excited that we were pregnant, and it wasn't always a very normal pregnancy from the beginning. I felt like every time I went to the doctor, there was a question or something was wrong, but it wasn't until our 18-week ultrasound they noticed that I had a SUA, a single umbilical artery. And so at that time, they just said, it's not that big of a deal. We just want you to come back later for some more scans to make sure that the baby is growing properly and developing properly. So we did. We went back at about 26 weeks, and they said that there was something possibly wrong with the heart. It wasn't where it normally is, and so they scheduled me for an echo. And at this point, I had been to a lot of doctor's appointments. So for this echo, I said to my husband, don't worry about it. Like, I got it. I can go on my own. And he said, no, I just feel like I should go with you this time. So we went, and you could always tell when the ultrasound tech or somebody notices something's wrong. And she got really quiet, and I said, is there something wrong? Like, will you just tell me? And the doctor came in, and they were whispering a little bit. And the doctor said, your baby has a 50% chance of breathing on its own when it's born. And we're going to send you to CS Mott, University of Michigan Hospital. And I was just a mess. I mean, it was Memorial Day weekend, so they wanted me to wait like 4 days to go. And then I had to sit there and continue the echo. So I was very thankful that my husband was there with me, because I would not have been able to drive home after that appointment. I called my mom, who is a nurse, and I was just an emotional disaster. And my husband called his mom, and they said, let's try and get you in today. Let's, why wait all weekend? So we got a hold of Mott, and they said, if you can get here in an hour, we'll take you. So we went out to Mott, and the doctor was amazing. She did a full ultrasound on me, and she said, have you ever heard of CDH? And even, with the nurses in my family, and I'm one of 10 children, just being around kids all the time, and, 4 or 5 nurses in the family, I'd never heard of CDH. So she explained it to me. And then she went on to say that the left side is more common than the right, and ours was a right-sided. And so there's less research done on right-sided. So we were, I was upset. I was really upset, kind of for a little bit, had the why me mentality. And my mom said, sorry, I didn't think I was going to get emotional.
Okay.
You wanted this baby so bad, they know, God knows that you can handle this, that's why, God knows that you and Johnny will be great parents to this baby, no matter what the obstacles are that you'll face, God knows that you can handle it. So it made me feel a little bit better. And then we had a consultation with one of the doctors at Mott to go over it a little bit more, and exactly what CDH is and what our next steps were throughout my pregnancy, and different MRIs and scans and appointments, and how everything was going to look. And he also told me, don't Google it, because he said there's so many different stories and different outcomes, and everyone's story is so different. So I didn't Google it at that time. And we just waited and waited. And at 39 weeks, they wanted me to be induced. So I went in, and she was not ready. So it took a while. But we kept losing the heartbeat, and almost had a C-section, and finally she was ready. So as soon as, I had the baby in the OR, and as soon as I had her, we didn't know at the time if it was a boy or a girl. As soon as I had her, they took her from me into the nest and intubated her right away. And she wasn't doing well with the breathing machine that she had. So the next day they decided to put her on ECMO. And the day after that, they did her repair surgery while she was on ECMO. And she was on ECMO for 6 days. And they were debating whether they should take her off of it. It was kind of like a risk, but then it's also scary being on it. So thankfully she came off of that. Okay. And then every day after that, it was kind of like she was surprising everybody. She was just, I don't know, she was responding to the medications well, and she was healing well. And we thought that we were going to be expected to be in the NICU for at least 2 months. And we were in the NICU for 33 days. She took a bottle when we were there, so we thought she'll only be on this NG tube. People were saying, oh, she'll only be on it for a little bit, she'll be fine. But that was the only thing that she came home with, was the NG tube. So, which was surprising, and we were very fortunate. We had the NG tube for about 15 months. We had gone to an intensive feeding program, and they thought maybe she was too young, so then we got the G tube put in. And she just, food is just still a daily struggle. But I found your organization when I would be up tube feeding her in the middle of the night, and everyone's sleeping, so you're not talking to anybody and you're just scrolling through. And I thought, okay, now that I have her, because I had heard of cherubs, and so I joined. And just looking through like everyone's stories and advice, and it was just really comforting to know that like you're not alone. I felt really, I don't know what the right word is for it. I felt really lucky and blessed that we had the outcome that we had. And then I felt like almost bad that I did, in a way, you know what I mean? Like there are other people that weren't as lucky. So it was like, I knew I wanted to do something to help others. And then at age 2, she had, Quinn, her name is Quinn. She had to have open heart surgery, her heart enclosed. And shortly before she had her heart surgery, I got a message from one of my college mates, and she said, is it CDH that Quinn had? And I said, yeah. And she said, my son's teacher is pregnant and just found out that they have CDH. Can I connect you too? And I said, yeah, let's do this heart surgery and get through this, and then I'd be happy to talk to her. And it was, I like I said before, it's kind of, I wish that I had that person. Sometimes I wish that I had joined while I was pregnant, because I was glad that I was able to share my experience with her. I didn't want to say anything that gave her hope that it would go the same way for her. But I also wanted to, let her know that she wasn't alone. And so I just kind of let her talk, and I was there for her. And if she asked questions, I would share for her my experience. So after doing that, when the opportunity came up to be like the Michigan ambassador too, I felt like this is something that I want to do. I want to be there for others, and in any way that they need me to, whether it's just an ear or, advice or anything. So, but yeah, Quinn she's feisty and she's smart, and we love her. And I can't imagine not having her here with us. She teaches us every day, something new every day. And she you know, she has her feeding struggles, but like if that's it, I mean, like we're so lucky, you know? So she has a little brother, James, and yeah, we're it's crazy, you know. Having our second too was always the question: is this going to happen again? You know, even though we had the genetic testing and it came back negative, you never know. I mean, it happened the first time, you know, so you never know. I can't imagine the parents that have their CDH child when they have older siblings, you know, and they're not able to be in the NICU all the time and they have to split their time, you know. So, um, you know, I know that there are some people that are worried to have another child, and but I don't know. I just feel like we wanted a sibling for Quinn, and who knows what the future will hold with more or not.
That's
So,
wonderful. I'm so glad that she's doing well, and I hate when the doctors tell parents not to Google CDH because I know what it was like to be alone because there was no cherubs, there was nothing when my son was born. So the whole reasoning behind cherubs was that families wouldn't have to be alone,
mm-hmm.
and it always drives me crazy. I understand the reasoning behind it. They're
Right.
trying to protect you, but at the same time, it's 2019, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish that they would send patients to a support charity instead of saying,
Mm-hmm.
"Don't Google it, go here."
Right. Right.
And hopefully the new parent reference guide will just get those plastered everywhere, and then they can say, "Here you go. Don't Google it because this is everything you need to know right here, and you can avoid
Right.
the scary stuff on the internet." Um,
Mm-hmm.
because
I
it is
mean,
overwhelming.
yeah, I was able to read what the hospital's page said about it. So I had that information, but as far as the support, I mean, I had my family, which was amazing, you know. But I also, I don't know, you always never know what you're going to do until you're in it. And I didn't, I kept it pretty private. I didn't tell many people about it. Um, you know, a lot of people would say, you know, oh, you're pregnant, congratulations. Is it a boy or girl? Oh, we don't know. Well, as long as they're healthy. And I would just walk away and I'd start crying. Like, what if they're not healthy? It's still okay, you know? So it definitely made me more aware of like how I speak to people when they're pregnant now. Just some of the common questions that, or responses that people give, you know, like might really trigger them or hurt them. And they did not mean it that way. You know what I mean? It's not like they were trying to hurt you or, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, maybe if I was more open about it, people wouldn't have given me those responses though too. So just kind of,
Mm,
you know,
they
didn't
will.
want everything to be about, I wanted to still have a fun pregnancy, and I didn't want everything to be about, you know, the what ifs and those kind of questions from people. I just wanted to celebrate that we were having a baby.
That's
So,
understandable. Yeah. People still would have said the same thing if they had known. That's just human nature. So either
hmm,
way, um, people mean well,
yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
hard to it's hard to find the right words about situations that you've never been in yourself. So,
Right,
but
right.
um, but it's good that you got to enjoy the pregnancy without all the questions too.
Hmm.
That was probably pretty smart. I don't know if I've heard another parent say that before, honestly. That
I mean, my family
um,
now, don't get me wrong, but as far as even after she was born, we had care pages rather than Facebook. Um, so I made it public, I guess, once she came home. Um, but I don't know. I think I was just so internal about everything, which isn't always the best thing to do. But that's just how it was for me then.
if
So
that's how you cope, there's nothing wrong with it.
yeah.
Um, um, well, I'm so happy she's doing well. I love the name Quinn. That's adorable.
Thank you. Thank you.
And and thank you for
We called
volunteering.
our Mighty Quinn. It's her theme song.
That makes sense. Thank you for helping the families in Michigan, and welcome aboard as a volunteer. And
Thank you.
we appreciate you sharing your story with us, and for wanting to help others. And I know it's not easy reliving all of that, and it's still hard for me too. And I've told my story 1,000 times, but there's nothing
Yeah,
easy about CDH. And so thank you very
you're
much. And
welcome.
Hi, this is Kevin Sorbo. On April 19th, it's International Congenital Diaphragmatic Hernia Awareness Day. That is CDH. And CDH, it hurts thousands of kids each year, killing 50% of them. And we are here to help try to raise more awareness for that, okay? So go to www.cdhi.org. That's www.cdhi.org. So happy CDH Awareness Day. Please donate to help these kids. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, it's Tommy Lee, and I want to wish everybody a happy CDH Awareness Day. Please donate and help the kids. This is a terrible disease that affects 1,600 kids a year, killing like 50% of them. So they're holding a telethon at www.cdhi.org. Okay? Go there. Donate some damn money. Bye.